so.
Alright.
Catch.
Oh, this smoke out here's horrible.
Now I just got to figure out how to find it on here. How do I find it on here? Should pop up, shouldn't it? So we're waiting to be notified that we're live. Oh, there it was, right there. We'll see if it is. Maybe it is. There it is. There we are. Okay. It's just nobody's watching us. Started stream less than a minute ago. Nobody's watching. I wonder why that. Oh, got a little blurry. Okay.
Right, at least you found it.
I found it.
And once it notifies me again, I'll be able to. There we go.
Hello, YouTube.
Hey, YouTube. Is anybody out there anymore?
We're still trying to. We're trying to figure out how to do lives again. We haven't done one in a long time.
Hey, Terry Burns, how you doing? Hi, Rock and Roll Nomad. RV Davy is.
Teacher Cindy, who's that?
Hey, Sam. All right, guys, we got 3 of us on here. Thank you.
Back 6 now. We just wanted to kind of drop on
7
here.
of us now.
What?
7.
7, well, we just wanted to drop on here and let everybody know that we're still around. And we've been really working hard. This summer job has been pretty intense. Huh?
Yeah. Rock and Roll Nomad is I'm RV Davy, he says.
Oh, yeah?
He is
Oh,
a
okay.
fan.
I remember you.
And Makio's on here, too. Thanks, guys, for popping on. It was kind of last minute.
Yeah, I just said to Darla, we ought to do a live. And she said, okay. So here we are. We're doing a live. A lot of things have been happening. We're working in a restaurant in Rollins, Montana. And once again, we thought we were working in a little restaurant, and this thing, it's not all the time, but it's a really slamming place.
It's very busy.
It's very busy. We're like under a heavy blanket of smoke right now.
It's really bad today.
From all these fires. It seems like all the fires in all the states around us, but all the smoke is coming here. I don't know if anyone's been watching any of the videos that we've done here, but this place is really pretty. We're working with a bunch of good people. The campground's real nice. It has good internet. That's a good thing. And yeah, it just we're getting kind of old to work as hard as we've been working. So we're definitely going to have to find jobs like where we can just cruise around our wheelchairs.
Rock and Roll Nomad, RV Davy. Remember he bought 10 acres in Williams, Arizona. Right now he says he's in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still trying to get our property just bulldozed. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to get it done. It's just been. The thing is it's a very small town, and there's like one guy with a bulldozer, and he's a really good guy. I mean, I with him personally, I have no problem other than the fact that he's just not showing up to do the bulldozing. So I'm hoping that he'll get to it, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to have to completely change all our plans, I guess. Maybe buy a piece of property where there's someone that, where people will be able to do things. Because we have to be able to get a few things done so that we can at least be able to stay on the property. The campgrounds around the area are pretty expensive there, and especially when we got property. I mean, we got a place to do it. We just got to get this dozing done. So we're going to work on getting that handled and go from there, huh?
So they want to know, where's Cage?
Cage, where are you?
I think he went up on the dash.
Come here.
Yeah.
Come here. Everybody wants to see you. Come here.
Come here, buddy.
Come on.
Come say hi.
He looks a lot different.
Come here.
Come here. Come here, bud.
Come up here. Come on. Let's go. There he is.
Yep. Got a bath
Hi.
this morning.
Can you say hi? Come here. Say hi. Look. Not me. I love you.
Yeah, he wants to give kisses. He's been spending 5 days a week alone, pretty
Yeah.
much during the day.
Very sad.
We go in the afternoon about 2 o'clock. We usually get home somewhere around 9 o'clock at night. The restaurant closes at 8, but then we got to clean it all up and get it ready for the next day to go. So that makes it kind of an effort.
Rudy Holmes says, wow, good internet. It is really good. Our own personal
Yeah.
internet does not work with Beans here.
Yeah,
At the park, they really bumped up their game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they completely went through and reworked the internet, and it's we never have a bog down or nothing really here. Our own personal internet, the Verizon, there's just no towers around here,
Yeah.
so we're like, I bought an antenna, and basically now we get a signal. We just can't
Yeah.
get any internet. So
Terry says, my inverter charger may have an issue. Do you know how to check the output on the charger? He's thinking that it's gone bad and is draining his house batteries.
well, yeah. I mean, all you got to do is just put a meter on your battery, and it should show it charging when it's plugged in. If it's showing it's not charging, it's probably that inverter converter.
Yeah. Rock and Roll Nomad, we have 1.1 acres. And he
Which
says
is
he's
plenty
having a
for
hard
us.
time. He's having a hard time getting people to work on his property too.
Well, the thing is we're kind of on a slope, and the slope's been modified before. But what I want to do is get all the tractoring done, because we have plans to put a metal building. And once the tractoring's done, then I got to dig trenches, have the trenches dug, and drop all the electrical, water lines, and sewer. Everything is there. Power's there, electric's there, gas, everything is there. All we have to do is just hook into it and get it turned on. So the big thing right now is to get the property done, and we got to get kind of like a road and get it go around the outside of the property to come in and gravel it. And then once that's done, then we got a little tree trimming that needs to be done, and get the electrical set up, and then we got a place to stay. And the only thing that costs us is electric and water. So
Hi Karen and hi Jen G from Texas. Karen's right next door.
oh, is it Karen next door?
We love Karen. We love everybody here. Everybody's good and gets along and
Yeah.
pretty decent.
And she's got the coolest dog, and our
Yeah.
dog's in love with her dog. So
Her dog's a 5-month-old. She's a Catahoula.
yeah,
She's
she's
a
like my brother.
Catahoula.
My brother has the same kind of
She's
dog.
a sweet puppy. Her name's Lexi.
Yeah, and these two, they're about the same size and everything else. So it's kind of fun to watch them.
Cage has romantic ideas.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Are you
He's
doing?
proven that already.
What are you
The only
doing?
trouble is he doesn't have the balls to do it.
Only ones he knows about are these ones in his mouth right here.
Yeah, so yeah, he's a good boy. And we've had mouse problems here. So we finally, the old Tootsie Roll trick works every time. We finally got this mouse. And now I went back in where I had put steel wool, and this thing has a double floor, and it's insulated in between the floors, and somehow they got in between the two floors and bored through the insulation and got into the same way. So now I've just packed that thing so solid with steel wool that I got a trap sitting in there and nothing's touched it. So I don't think we got a problem anymore.
Yeah, we got lights. A couple
Yeah.
of people over here have lights all the way around it deters the mice. But I don't think we need them now, so we're sending them back.
Yeah.
Karen, we're sending back our lights.
Yeah, so
Work up in the office.
she was trying to send a couple of packages back, and they got re-delivered back to us like three times.
Just
They're-
twice.
and everybody said, "Oh, here, I brought you your stuff." Yeah, well, it's supposed to go with GPS. So it was kind of fun. It was,
No.
what would you say, a misunderstanding in communication there.
Needed a
So
little
finally went back.
clarification.
So I dropped this off with Debbie. So if it doesn't get picked up tomorrow, we're gonna tell Debbie it's her fault. I don't even know. They probably work tomorrow, don't they?
I don't know if they work to stop rats, but they're supposed to stop mice. So I don't know. All I know is we had problems. We didn't have lights. They don't have problems, and they have lights. We
Yeah,
don't have problems now because the
yeah.
holes are plugged, but
I always find it's best if you can figure out how the mice are getting in,
yeah.
because I mean, if you have lights and for some reason we actually had the other day we came home from work and it was 92 degrees in the motorhome. The electric must have tripped or something on the.
But nothing was flashing.
Yeah, nothing was
the
flashing, but-
microwave wasn't flashing.
But the air shut
So
off.
I don't know.
And luckily we have a dog that, I mean, in the summertime he sleeps under the
He's
covers.
solar
so-
powered.
Yeah, he loves the heat, so we're good there.
Speaking of mice, I guess my RV must smell like mice. Started walk behind it the other day, and a darn snake fell from the awning to the ground. Must have climbed in the awning leg. Yuck.
Yeah, that's the trouble with when you get mice.
Terry, you're in Arizona right now, aren't you?
Terry?
Burns?
I don't know. Where is Terry Burns?
Where are you?
I don't know. He's not saying nothing.
You will.
He's speaking of. Yeah, just you know, I hate to hurt critters, but we've actually
Play right now.
we got 4 mice since we've been here. But now since I've got that hole plugged, I think we're done with them. But you know, you don't want to. You know, I don't want to have to kill anything. But man, they'll just destroy your water system and your electrical and everything else. So
Stuck
We,
in Kentucky.
yeah, and Cage,
Yeah.
Cage is like on top of the couch, trembling. I pulled that mouse out and I let him sniff it, and he was like, "Oh, wow, that's what was making all that noise in there." So anyway, and the problem is they get into your silverware and your pots
Oh,
and pans.
they were eating my onions.
Yeah, they ate
I've
onions.
never had a mouse eat an onion
They
before.
took a bite
They
out
were
of each
eating-
one
yeah,
too. They didn't eat a whole one. They tasted
nibbled
them
on
all.
each one. I had to chuck them all.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any other little questions for us.
Trey
but-
says he's been stuck in Kentucky with COVID,
Oh yeah.
and RV Davey wants to try to make it to Quartzsite this year.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
you
another
do.
thing. Yeah, we're doing Quartzsite again this year, and we are going to be working the tent this year. We already got
Recruiting people for gate guards. down in
doing the same
Texas,
thing
yeah.
we've done in the past, and we've already
Last year they didn't have a stand there.
yeah.
The company said nope, not this year, because of COVID.
And last year the owners of the campground brought us over a fire pit, and we had a fire
Yeah,
every
nice
night.
time.
And it was great, you know, every night that we could, when it wasn't too
I
windy.
think we did
so.
for like most, maybe 2 nights, 3 nights we didn't.
I think between everybody, we spent a couple $100
Yeah.
on firewood, but it was nice. Everybody got a
really
chance
nice.
to sit around and talk. And
Relaxing.
it was a good time. So we'll have that going on again this year, and I don't know. There's a lot of
Hopefully we
things
see-
happening in the world, and hopefully things gonna really good.
Hopefully we see a lot of the same people we did last year.
Yep.
Heard from the Merediths. I haven't heard from Dan for a while.
Are Billy and Brenda coming?
I don't know.
He was talking about going to Florida, but he don't want to go to Florida. That's like just
You don't want to go to Florida.
that's too close to his house. It's not like going anywhere.
And you won't be there. You won't be. Where are we gonna come see you, Teacher Cindy? Hey, Rhonda. Is gate guarding still going in a big way? I know they shut the pipeline thing down.
Yeah, well, this is oil wells in Texas, and it's going even more so because the thing is they're trying to kill all the leases. Well, this is all private land, so they can't kill it. Well, I guess they could eventually, but
Cindy says I don't know anywhere.
Well, Cindy's been to Quartzsite.
Rock and Roll Nomad says, I'll join you for dinner camp in your RV center. Sounds good. Holy Hope, hello. Welcome.
Hello.
That's a name I've not heard before.
Yeah, that's another thing, you guys, is I was watching Camo Dave this morning, and there a lot of the old timers, Eric and a bunch of the guys are kind of their views have gone down. I know our subscriber people have gone up and down. It's just kind of fluctuated, but I mean that's kind of to be expected because we haven't really been doing too much. Because I mean, you work down there, you work a shift down there, and you're not wanting to come home and do anything but just try to take enough Motrin to go to sleep. So, but YouTube is changing. They've done some different things, and I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to Rumble and other places. We don't really do anything controversial, I don't think. So we'll probably just stay on YouTube as long as YouTube is going.
I don't like Rumble because it took them 6 weeks to approve the videos I put on there.
Yeah, and then they copyrighted them.
Yeah, and then they copyrighted them.
So
I have no rights to them.
So the thing at this point is that we just want to keep kind of doing what we're doing, and I'm sure that if something was to happen to YouTube, it'd be because someone else came in and did a better job, and so if that was the case, that's probably where we would go to. But at this point, we don't have any plans of changing anything, other than we're just trying to, I guess, not say anything that's going to cause a problem. And I want to do more motorhome-ish stuff and more as far as living this lifestyle, because that's another thing. A lot of people are talking about getting off the road. And I mean, there's a lot more weekend people. Like this place here today, we've had a lot of empty spaces, and they're already filled back up. This place
Everybody is so glad to be able to camp this year because
Right.
of COVID last year put the brakes on everything.
So I mean, this campground is full every single day, and I've heard of people complaining that they have a hard time getting camp spots and stuff like that. But usually when winter time comes, then the weekend people they tend to stay home, and they don't want to deal with the weather and all that. So the people that are like us, that are full-timers, and we live this lifestyle, we always seem to be able to get a place to stay. When we travel, we stay at Walmart's, Flying J's, Home Depot, stuff like that.
A lot of people don't like doing that, but I don't like paying for camps.
Yeah, it's...
Not when we're traveling from, like...
We've really never had a problem other than loud at Walmart's. And Flying J's,
And that's
finding a
not
place
often.
to park sometimes is a little difficult, but sometimes you ask them and they'll say, well, just go around over there and park at, the Denny's wasn't open that one time. They said, just go park over there by the Denny's. It's closed because of COVID, so you can spend the night.
Thanks,
So.
Teacher Cindy. Thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up. Thank you. Now, that's another thing. When you watch your favorite YouTubers, I always make a point to hit the like button, because if you don't do that, you're not getting the circulation of your videos, and a lot of times we'll just think we're totally dead, and then all of a sudden we're getting a lot of hits, and it's not because we made a video, it's because they're putting our videos back out there. And I notice a lot of the videos that come up on my screen some of them are 5, 6 years old,
Right.
and it's just because there's not a lot of new content.
Right. Hello, Jackie B, 1965, and what else? Oh yeah, I hope I'm saying your name right, Coley Hope. I know you said that's Old English, but it's a pretty name. But anyways, gate guarding we've done it.
We just did it.
6 separate times. Yeah, we just did it in
Colorado.
October, November, and December in Colorado this time, and we never say never again to that job, because it's always there for you. when something doesn't work out, you can go down there and you can usually almost always get a gate. There are times when people have to wait in a campground until a gate becomes available. We had to do that one time, but mostly when we go down there, it's because all the snowbirds have left there to go north because they don't like the summertime, and that's what we end up doing. Don't like to have to do that, and we're in
Except
a better
for
situation
Colorado, we
now.
went there during the winter time,
And it
prime
was
time,
horrible.
when it was 10 below.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing of it. You go south in the wintertime, and then you go north in the summertime. But we had it backwards for a long time, and we still end up down there in Texas, like I said, sometimes because something won't work out.
And it's hard on
And
your
it's available.
equipment too, the heat.
It's hard on you, it's hard on your equipment.
But the good thing about gate guarding is that if you got nowhere to stay and you're like a little low on funds, you could go down there and spend a couple of months and
Stockpile
refill your
money.
bank account, and you know, and most of the times it's pretty kicked back. So
You're working a gate. If you're a couple, you're working most times 24-hour gates, and so you don't have time to go anywhere and spend your money, which is a plus and a minus, a pro and a con. If you're a single person, you have time, but you're so tired, you just want to do your laundry, do your marketing, get back and go to sleep for your next shift.
we were
So
doing
you
12
just tend to
hours.
save a
So
lot of money.
both of us together, we were
Right.
doing a 12-hour shift, and we were in a
We got
guard
paid-
shack.
We got paid good on that gate.
Yeah, that was a.
Hi, Canadian Twig.
We made
Welcome.
$220 a day on that gig that time,
I did pronounce Cully Hope right.
and that was 7 days a week. So the only bad thing is we had 12 hours a day where we could go play around and go
Yeah, but
eat.
we didn't do that much either.
Yeah, but they
Thank
did
you,
have a Del
Mikio. I know
Taco,
you always hit the
the like
thumbs
button.
up.
Yeah.
She's usually the one that always says, "Hey guys, hit the thumbs up." But teacher Cindy's our daughter, so you know.
Yeah. We're still celebrating her birthday. It's her
Yeah,
birthday
it's
month.
her birthday month. She's our baby. Rock and Roll Nomad got monetized. Yay!
Yeah, that's right.
Congrats,
And I think so did Stacy.
Stacy. Yes.
My Empty
My
Nest.
Empty Nest Quest. She just got monetized too.
So yeah, you guys, you know, support the YouTubers that you like, and it's like I say, it's important to like their videos and stuff like that, because that will keep things going for them and also help them to get monetized. You know, to be honest with you, I'm thinking about getting a new camera, but it would take us almost a year and a half or 2 years to make the $500 back, because we don't make that much money off of YouTube. That's not why we really do it. We did monetize, but we don't. It's not how we survive. If we get any money off of YouTube, usually what I do is I put it into buying a new piece of equipment. I want to get one of those little pocket cameras, because so many times we like to gotta play ball with the dog. So many times we're like, today we were out and I wanted to zap something real quick, and it's a hassle to get the phone and to get it turned on and get it on the little handle thing, and so by the time we do all that, it's like we're past it. So we've lost a lot of really good videos because of that. So
Terry says, if I'd been you, it would have been hard leaving that gate even with the cold. But you know what? I fell on the ice one day, which was a really bad thing, and I'm still paying for that. And he would like go into a cargo bay and open the door, and the bolts were breaking. It was that cold.
yeah,
It was not. We hung as long as we could, but we couldn't anymore.
We actually did a lot of repair work after that.
Yeah, we did.
To the cargo bays and stuff. So yeah, I mean, they basically have 3 seasons there. They have the fly season,
We're
which
down
is-
the street from a feedlot, so
which was
the flies
so
were thick.
you were actually begging for cold weather. And then they had the rainy season where everything was getting flooded
muddy.
and muddy, and then they had the freezing. And we left there, it was what, about 6 degrees when we left,
Yeah,
6
it
or
was-
7 degrees, and we did 10 below.
It was cold. I don't like cold.
That's It's the coldest I've
Neither one
ever
of us
been in.
do.
You too,
Yeah. It's one thing I forgot to answer. Rock and Roll Nomad RV Davies wanting to know where we stay. In Quartzsite, it's Lazy Days. If you go to our group page on Facebook, it's Economic Refugees RV Group. You'll see I have a couple of posts in there about it. It's getting on time where I'll pin it to the top too. But it's Lazy Days RV, and it's on Riggles Avenue in Quartzsite. How much is it a month?
It's like, I think it's $220 a month, and then I think we were paying about $35 for electric.
17 cents for kilowatt hour.
It's like 35
or
bucks.
Whatever they call it. Yeah.
For electricity.
For a month.
This thing eats a lot of electricity, so we have a lot of stuff that's on all the time. So.
Rudy Holmes, you want to know where's a good place to hang out while you're waiting for the gate? Usually we work for Guard 1 and they'll tell you this is where we're going to have a gate, and they'll put you in a yard that they have down there. And like I said, we've only ever had to wait for a gate one time. And anyway, they put you in a yard to wait. I think we waited like...
No, we were in a campground.
But we did that twice.
Yeah, we were in a really nice campground, full hookups, right near town.
It was nice.
Laundry, everything.
We didn't pay for it. We just waited.
Yeah, it was all free.
It was
so
almost 2 weeks. Did we wait?
Yeah, well, one time we were there for a while, and then we went and did a gate, and then the gate closed, and then they took us to this other place, and I mean, the rats were as big as our
And you
dogs.
can say no on a gate. If you get to a gate and you're like, I'm not working this, you can do that.
I don't want to do that. And I mean, you don't want to do it to every gate until you
Right.
find, like, this pristine place, but I mean, this place was way, way, way out in the middle of nowhere.
Dirt road.
And they had this big, huge dumpster there, and it was attracting everything out in the
Rats.
Yeah, rats.
Big
and
rats.
I just didn't think it was a good place for us. And I was talking, there was like 2 other couples there, and I was talking to them, and they said, yeah, they had been there for a while, and they said, well, we just stayed because of the money.
Rudy, the waiting on a gate thing, like I said, your chances of getting a gate with any guard company is going to be good in the summer months when all the snowbirds want to leave there. They'll work it in the colder months. They don't mind that because it's not that unbearably cold, although it does rain a whole heck of a lot. But they'll tell you go to this area, and if they want you to wait for a gate, they'll tell you where to stay locally too.
Yeah, Guard 1 has...
Those are in Texas mostly.
Yeah, Guard 1 has Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, and Louisiana.
Right. But they only have one gate that I know of in Colorado.
In Colorado.
That was the one
And
we worked in. It had to be a couple.
And I think they actually have either 2 or 3 couples depending on what's going on.
Right. If they're real busy and what.
In the New Mexico, I think they have like 4 or 5, but it's almost like West Texas. It's just over the border in New Mexico, so it's not, when we were out in Colorado, it was just flat out. There was no trees or anything. It was just dirt. I mean, it was just kind of a little bit hilly, but it was. You could see Estes Park, the mountains.
Well, and there was a fire there too.
Yeah, that was when we were there too.
Oh, it's horrible too.
The thing about if you like trees and stuff like that, that Texas and Louisiana is probably going to be your best bet for that kind of stuff. It's just a way. It's a way. I mean, we knew. I've told this story a million times, but we knew some people that we met in Amazon, and they were kind of struggling with life at that point, and we introduced them to gate guarding. And they stayed there, 9 years, and they paid all their debts off. They bought property, put on a mobile home on it, and I mean, and they go back and work a couple of months a year, and just to give them that extra, because now they're retired too. So that's one good thing for us now is that we can actually live on what we make because off of Social Security because we don't have bills.
Rock and Roll Nomad, our RV is a 95. There's no age limit, but Rudy, they do expect you to be fully self-contained. They'll supply you with water and a generator to run your rig, but you've got to have a toilet in your RV.
Yeah, they have a tank that you dump your black and your gray water into.
You've got to be fully self-contained.
But you got to be able. They give you a 550 gallon water tank, and then they have a generator, and they come and fill the tank like every 2 weeks. And they fill your water tank like. They say they come every 2 weeks, but if the tank gets low, they'll come out ahead of time. Guard One, they're not the highest paying company, but they keep you serviced, and that was one bad thing about Colorado is the service was a little tight, but they were so far away and they didn't have a supervisor over us, but they said
Bill did most of that.
Well, I did. Yeah, we had a generator, but it was only for backup purposes. We were hooked to actual electricity.
Right.
So.
And we did lose power there a couple times.
Yeah, and then we just go out and fire up the generator, and it powered us back up until the electricity came back on.
Anyway. Yeah.
Any other questions? Oh, you have a 95, yeah. Well, so is ours. So,
yeah.
The big thing about that is keep them clean. Make sure they look great on the outside.
Yeah.
And people that, and keep them running good if they're smoking.
What happened?
Oh, we're back. If you're smoking, your engine's smoking, and it just leaking everything. There's a lot of campgrounds that are going to say. But if your rig's good, I had an oil leak, really bad oil leak, and I had to pull the transmission out of this thing twice, but it don't leak anymore. What's wrong?
Just get pixelated.
Yeah, it does it once in a while, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I don't know why it's doing that. We're streaming, just as streaming.
Coley Hope also said they live in Colorado, and after we left, Loveland had a mild winter until March, and then the snowstorm started up again.
Well, the thing about for us too was we were on our way to Quartzsite, so we go to Quartzsite every year. The first year we went for the rally stuff was 2007, and that was in our Lance Capper. But for the most part, 2010 on. We've been doing. Yeah, there goes our neighbor Karen, who was watching us. She's walking her dog.
Canadian Twig. It is always worth gate guarding. I mean, like I said, it's always been a good moneymaker for us. I will tell you one thing that's really tough is a lot of these companies now are doing 1099s for you, and that's self-employed, so you have to pay your own taxes, and if you're not good on holding some money back, you could be in trouble. I will say that. So you have to be careful of that. Yeah,
it's not super bad because you make more money than you really spend. It would be really hard to spend all the money you make. We also have another guy that we turned on to Guard One. That was like 2 years ago, huh?
Hey, Steve Moran. Good to see you. Hope you and your wife are doing well too.
Hey, I haven't seen Steve in a long time. Anyway, him and his wife, I talked to him about it. He's like, well, I don't know. Anyway, they just bought a brand new
Who?
Dave Rice.
Yeah,
He just bought a brand new Solitude trailer.
Fifth wheel.
And fifth wheel, and
Truck.
He's doing great, and they have no intentions of leaving. They're just staying down there. They're going to stay until all their stuff is paid off, and they got a big chunk of money.
What did they do? They had a gate in Louisiana. They went there. Something didn't happen, and then they sent them to New Mexico. So they're on a gate again, but.
Well, they ended up in Texas, is where they're at now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, like I said, this job here, we did not expect it to be as difficult.
The RV doesn't have to look pristine for these jobs, these gate guard jobs.
Oh,
they
not
don't
for
care
gate
what it looks like. All they care is that it's self-contained.
Yeah.
And that you don't. When we got to the gate, Colorado, one of the couples that was there had 2 Jeeps that they were harvesting parts off of to put on the other one. Neither one of them ran. and they had motors, transmission,
They had
oil
a transmission.
cans. It
yeah.
looked horrible. You can't do that stuff. The owners of the ranches that you guard don't want it looking like that.
Yeah,
It's just common sense.
yeah, I mean, it's
Hi, Scarlett Henderson.
you can put your chairs outside, and you can put a barbecue outside, and you can put like one of those canopy things, tent. A lot of people like to do that. They put like a canopy and put a couple of chairs under it and sit outside and stuff.
Right.
I mean, they don't have a problem with that. But I mean, when you know, and they don't care if you. I worked on my RV a lot. I mean, we actually
we
were
had a
down in.
windshield replaced.
Yeah, which we were in Laredo, and this motorhome just would not go. I mean, I could hold it all the way to the floor, and it would take a mile and a half to get up to 55 miles an hour. And this thing usually just runs like a top. And I found out that it was the wastegate actuator had a blown diaphragm, and it requires air pressure from the pump and from the compressor, and then that also applies air pressure on the injector pump, which causes it to give it more fuel. Well, that diaphragm was blowing, and it was just letting the air bypass. And I mean, I had done all kinds of stuff on this thing,
Yeah.
front to rear. Anyway, we
It was kind of like
yeah
looking for it in reverse
yeah.
of what it actually ended up being.
And we finally, I told her, I said, we're either going to pull out of this gate, make a right-hand turn, and go down, and if it doesn't have any power, we're going to go down that truck stop, and I'm going to have to work on it until we get it going, right? Or we're going to get on the freeway, and we're going to head out. And I got it, turn right, and hit the throttle, and it took off. So it's been running really good
And
ever
I'm
since.
so glad, because when you're ready to leave a gate, you're ready to leave a gate. You don't want to park a mile down from the gate and have to work on your RV.
Yeah, honestly, the best day of gate guarding is the day you leave. So the days you get paid, the day you leave. It's the worst part about it is kind of boring.
It can
So
be.
you want to either have satellite TV or
Lots of reading material.
yeah, good internet, music, whatever.
And that's a thing too. We have said no to gates where we don't have internet, because we need to stay connected. We
Yeah,
have a
because of all the
channel.
videos we do.
Right.
Here we have the greatest internet we've ever had, and
It's just,
today we took pictures of her buying cherries. That's our
hey,
content.
it's a big cherry festival up
Yeah.
here the end of this month, and there's cherry stands all along and little cherry orchards, people that run their own orchards, and it's that time of year. Right now is the season, and I love cherries.
We're so pixie here. What's going on?
I don't know, but that was a good thing, and you guys would probably be interested in that. We'll probably throw a little tiny video together and put that out there, just because we know you love it.
And then there's Scarlett Henderson.
Yep.
Hello, Scarlett.
Diesel pushers have power. Yes, they do, unless they don't.
Well, yeah, and the thing is this is an old 832 valve with the injector pump. It's got no computerized stuff. I mean,
Right.
it's really
it was definitely mechanical, whatever was the problem.
these guys with these, of course, you plug it in and all that. That's what but you got to have a lot of equipment to be able to test those new motorhomes. And then when you figure out what it is, it can be very costly. So
See, Scarlett says, I always enjoy listening to y'all's videos.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scarlett. And everybody else.
yeah, we appreciate you guys. We really do.
We do. How much can you make a month gate guarding?
A month?
Gaby's asking. For a single, if you do a 12-hour gate,
I think you get about 125 for a 12-hour shift.
that's the least you would make. Some
Yeah,
gates are more.
Yeah, and that's 7 days a week.
Yes, no days off till
No
you're
days
done with
off.
the gate.
And so, of course, if you're only working 12 hours a day, see, like when we worked a 24-hour gate, she worked the day crew and I worked the night crew. And then what would happen is when she'd come out a little bit early so I could go and lay down, Brett's RV on there, go lay down and go to sleep, and then I'd get up early and then I'd load up all the laundry and I'd go do the laundry and do the shopping and everything else while she did the gate guarding. And then I didn't feel comfortable with her outside at night, and it just, it's just that's just how I feel about it. I know some guys, their wives preferred to work nights. It's just what you guys decide. It's your thing. But I've killed rattlesnakes at night,
And you know, there's places down there in Texas where you're right on the border.
yeah.
Not always, but some of the gates we've worked, we've been right on the border, and there have been issues.
And they've come up to you during the day too. So I mean,
They have come up
most
to me
most of the time when they come up, if they're not carrying the big packs, then you're pretty much, you don't have to worry about them too much. But the guys with the big packs, they're going to kind of avoid you, and because they're doing bad things. So
Nikhil, I will put that video on. It's not really long, but I'll put the cherry video on.
yeah, well,
I wanna see it.
I'm gonna try to add a little bit to it. So we did a smoke video today because I mean, this place, I'm telling you, it is gorgeous here. It's really,
It is.
really, really pretty. This lake it looks like the ocean. It's so big, but we went all the way around on the other side. It's about 120 miles all the way around the lake. We went all the way around the lake today.
So the camera's facing us, but that's the front windshield behind you guys, and right out our front windshield is the lake, and it's
Yeah, we're looking out the
beautiful.
window. We got the front open right now.
Pine trees. It's
Trees
beautiful.
and mountains.
We're up on the side of a mountain too,
Yeah.
so we sit high up.
And we're at the top,
Yeah.
almost. There's
It's-
one level above us. So
Really pretty.
yeah, it's real pretty, and all the work campers are up here in this little row.
And one's down there
Yeah,
because
one
they were
one
too
over,
long
yeah.
to fit up here.
But anyway, yeah. So
What state could I work doing this job? Gate guarding? Are you talking about?
yeah, all you have to do is contact Guard One Services, and you probably be in contact with Maria.
Yeah.
And it never hurts to drop a name. So if you say Bill and Darla sent you, that might help you a little bit. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but
For a single though, your best bet's going to be Texas because they've got a lot of stuff going on down there where they need singles. I think, from what I know for sure, Colorado is couples, and I'm not sure about Louisiana. New Mexico, I also think is couples, 2 people.
and you know, another thing right now is, and this is going to sound a little rude, but it's really hard to not find a job. I mean,
It's
here
true.
they're closing restaurants 2 and 3 days a week because they don't have help.
Yeah.
And we went into a pizza place and they go, yeah, we're going to start closing on Tuesdays because we can't get enough people to work.
Yeah.
And so there's jobs everywhere.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Because they can't find enough locals to work.
They
jobs
actually
we work.
contacted us and offered us this job, and then the thing is, you know, I mean, we came all the way from Arkansas to here, so that was a long drive. It was over 2,000 miles. But you know, I mean, it's not like we're making $1 million or anything, but we got a nice place. We pay a little bit out of our paycheck each
Right.
week, so that
Everyone
we have
does
everybody
that works here.
does. So you have a nice campsite with full hookups, good internet, and that's, you know, I mean, that's kind of a perk of the thing. You pay a little. I mean, there's people, I think it's what, $1,700 a month to stay here. We're not
Yeah.
paying anywhere near that. So,
Yeah.
but you know, they want you to work.
And honestly, the restaurants that are around here, and this is no lie, the kitchen we work at has the best food of
Yeah.
anywhere for miles and miles and miles.
Yeah, there's just the quality of the food. I mean,
Yeah.
in these restaurants around here, and stuff is expensive, you know. I don't
It's
know.
a resort community. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, people come for the good weather and then they leave their cabins for the bad weather.
Yeah,
Some of them live here, but
They make all their money here in 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, at the most 5 months. I mean, because when we got here, it was cold, and it was still rainy and windy, and
it rained so much when we got here. That's why
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised about all the fires, but they're not here.
and right now it's 85
Blowing in.
degrees, and it's, you know, almost 6 o'clock at night. So it's warm here, and it's warm in that kitchen, man, cooking. It gets pretty hot. They do have air conditioning. They put a big fan in for me because, man, I was cooking. I was roasting.
Scarlett's in Hot Springs, Arkansas. You know, our daughters live in Arkansas.
Little Rock.
Yeah, Little Rock.
And we have property in Arkansas.
So the internet in Texas, Rudy, it can be really, really, really dicey there, and that's why I say, if they take you to a spot and before you ever pull your RV in, you can check that. You can ask them how it is. They will loan you, at least they used to, a signal booster. So
as long as you're near a highway, especially
Yeah.
if you're near Highway 35, you get real good internet. And there's still only 2-lane roads, but they're main 2-way roads that go the opposite.
country, it's
And,
country.
yeah. And but you can get real good internet. It just really depends on where you're at.
So internet there, the thing we found the best has been Verizon overall.
Yeah.
There
always.
was one place we did gate guarding, and we had to. I suspended at that time we had a contract with Verizon. I suspended that, and we got an AT&T phone because, and that was no better.
And
Well, it was
we
much
could
better,
see the tower.
but it just didn't work.
And I mean, it was right there, and I mean, it didn't work with the dog.
Yeah.
So what we
I'm
had is
sure
we
they
had the
said
Honeymooners CDs. We watched a lot of those.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, AT&T was what we used there, but mostly it's Verizon.
Now that ranch had their own Border Patrol headquarters. It was 44,000 acres, and they had their own cell towers
too bad
and everything.
Too bad Arizona doesn't have gate guarding.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they don't have oil, I don't think.
Yeah. And then, up here they've got oil, like Williston, North Dakota. They've got all kinds of oil, but they don't have private ranches that people want guards on. We've checked into that too, but that's what we were told by more than one gate guard company. They just
Yeah, and
don't
your
have,
RV would explode.
if you worked in the wintertime, yeah, for sure.
When we were there in Colorado, it was a constant battle to keep water flowing and all that stuff. It was be able to open the door in the morning. It was crazy because the sun would
Yeah.
come up and it would melt, all the ice, but the water would run down and the door jams and stuff.
It'd freeze it up.
And then it would freeze it up at
Yeah.
night. As soon as the sun went down, man, temperatures just go straight down.
Scarlett Henderson says, where, Little Rock, that's only about an hour for me. I've actually worked from East Coast to West Coast, north to south, hauling wind turbines and oil refineries as well, doing oversized. I never would have thought that.
Yeah,
Sounds interesting.
And Rhonda says, yeah, AT&T works where, and that was the deal. When we were in that spot down there in Texas, you couldn't get any Verizon. But they told us to get AT&T because there's the tower. So we went and got AT&T, and it was so
It's just where we were.
interrupted. It just was interrupted. I don't know how that worked. But
Rudy says, or no, rock and roll nomad Flagstaff is 70 and lots of rain monsoons. Yeah, that's Arizona for you.
another good job is if you, in fact, James from Wheelock. Yeah, he, what's his thing?
Wanderlust Estate.
Wanderlust Estates.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, he's a welder. He does, him and his wife are both welders, and they do refineries and pipe. And they always have what they call a safety person. And that pays like $30 an hour. And all you do is hang out with these welders and
You watch them.
and you got fire extinguishers. And if something starts to get a little weird,
Oh, they're watchers or.
well, they're fire people. They put out fires. That's what they do. They train you how to put out the fires, and then if for some reason something catches on fire or whatever, then you're there to put it out. And occasionally you help the welder a little bit or something. That's what I've heard. But my buddy him and his wife make a ton of money. Ton of money. I mean, they get paid like $120
They're
a day
both
just
welders.
to be there.
Yeah.
So that's not even their $55 an hour. or whatever
Scarlett
they make.
says, I worked calling all refineries to Williston, North Dakota, and those are corporation sites which have offices and they're guarded but not by outsiders.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And so they wouldn't have an RV on site probably either.
Well, there are no limits to the type of work you can do. There's people that need that will have you come and watch their houses and their pets and you know, water the yard and stuff, and they'll let you stay there for free and pay you to do it. I mean, you just have to, you know,
So
look around.
workcampernews.com. We always have a subscription to them every year. We pay it, and that's where we find most of our jobs. Another one that's free
Where
is
they find
Workers,
us.
where they find us, because you can put your resume on there. That's how we got this job. Another one that's free is Workers on Wheels, and they are the ones that list a lot of the jobs Bill just talked about, where you're sitting on someone's private property and they're not there for months on end, but they need somebody there because they've got animals, and a lot of times those are just for the site. If they happen to have a garden, you can have as much produce as you want, but you got to maintain that, or they've got animals and you just have to take care of the animals.
And
That's not our thing, though.
You just have to
But
be a
it might be
negotiator
yours.
too. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had jobs where, you know, they didn't want to pay a certain amount, or sometimes, like even when we first started out, when we worked at Ouray, Colorado, I told them, I said, well, we're not going to be able to, because we had to pay like over $700 for our space a month. And I said, well, this job is not going to cut it for us. And they felt that we were valuable enough where they let her work in the kitchen a couple of nights, and they let me do security.
Mm-hmm.
And that was enough to bring it up to where it was a reasonable thing. It just depends on what you want to do.
That was our second job away. I mean, our second job in this lifestyle. We didn't know anything, so we didn't know that was a lot of money to pay for a spot, and that a lot of places you work, you get paid, but they'll let you stay there for free too. We didn't know, so
you learn, you know.
yeah,
and
that's where the negotiation comes in.
I'm not a big fan of working at Amazon, but there is a big advantage to working at Amazon, and that is there's a lot of work campers there. And if you want to, you go there and you start making friends with work campers at Amazon. I mean, that got us to Sugar Beets, which we did for 7 or 8 years, and then it got us where we went to baseball, because we just met people, and they said, well, where are you going when we leave here? And we don't know yet. Well, man, they need people at baseball. Why don't you do baseball? So, I mean, we would go do baseball, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we had a thing every year, and then Christmas trees and different stuff. I mean, we're getting to the point where we can't do the hard I can't. We were talking today about
I
Sugar
know we
Beets.
look like we're in our late 30s, early
Yeah.
40s, but we're not.
Yeah, we're retired age. We're 65. So the thing about it is that, I mean, we can do the jobs,
Just
but at the
kidding.
end of the day, it's
We pay for it.
my hands are killing me and everything else, and her back, and so, and it's, you know, you don't want to complain to people. That it doesn't. If you start
Can't
whining and
help it
crying, we just
sometimes.
do it. We come home, we complain to each other, take a hot shower, and lay down and hope we can go to sleep. So, it just, you know, it's a price you have to pay to have the freedom of being able to go and see the country and be in nice places. You know, if we had 200,000 subscribers on our channel here, maybe.
Come on, people.
Yeah, or if we had more than 15 likes, maybe. But I'm just kidding. Anyway, we're not like beggars, are we? Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're big for likes.
the thing is that when you get out into this lifestyle, you know, if you're a little bit shy, they're shy people. You just kind of you open up. You open up and you'll just all of a sudden you'll realize that the doors start opening for you in every direction, and it's not for everybody, because there's hazards on the road and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, Mr. Andy CM, where's Kevin? He lives back in Arkansas, so I imagine he's still there. Rhonda says, you're looking good, but I know what you mean. West Coast Roller, great info, my 2 cents, get your CDL and make some dinero. I don't know.
We're too old for that now. You know what? I have to go to the bathroom too much to be able to drive a truck. They don't come with a bathroom. They could strap an outhouse on the back of the trailer.
Bombs come from, but we're
yeah, our ultimate
although
goal.
we do have friends that are doing that right now.
We do, but they're a lot younger than us.
And they don't have a channel.
Yeah.
I keep telling them they need to have a channel, but they just.
Our thing right now, our plan is to get our property set up with a metal building where we can park the motorhome inside, build a little apartment inside the building, and I can put my motorcycle shop in there, and I'll paint some gas tanks and fenders, and I'd like to restore some older bikes. I'm not really into getting back into all the, souping the bikes up and fuel injection, all that, changing tires and all that. That's not where I really want to go. I like to build old shovel heads and pan heads and stuff like that. That would be ideal for me, and not be in a push type situation. Before, it was always, the bike came in, they had to go out. I mean, they didn't even want to drop it off. They just wanted it done, so it was feast or famine. So we still have probably about 60% of the motorcycle shop left. I think 50 or 60%
in storage.
I got all my tools. I got all my specialty tools. So if I needed to rebuild a motor or something, that's not a big deal. All the way up to the twin cams. So I could do all that. But where we're at in Arkansas, the CMA has a big motorcycle rally every year there and stuff. So if someone broke down, I could fix some stuff.
Hey, Scenic Driveways, thanks for stopping in and saying hi. West Coast Roller shop idea sounds awesome, Billy. You will kill it. He is pretty good with Harleys for sure. Truly.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons why, the main reason why we had to stop is because we didn't get a phone call for 2 weeks. I knew things were getting bad.
Economic refugees.
Yeah. But my hands, I have, even with cooking, I'm having a lot of problems with my hands. So my thumbs get so sore. I go to pick something up and I got to grab it before it hits the ground. So it's just a medical thing I can't get over. So
old age.
It's old age.
Our parts are wearing out.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's been an hour.
What?
It's been an hour.
It has.
Yeah.
And everyone's probably ready to get off of here.
Hey, Stephen O'Laughlin.
Yeah, see, every time we say we're going to do something like that, everybody starts showing up.
Stephen, are you asking? We're still in our job at the campground. Or are you asking about the one that we left early 3 years ago? The KOA. Which one? We're still on our job here.
Yeah,
in Montana.
This is Rollins RV.
Hey, Jason and Amanda, hi.
Hey, there they are.
Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah, what was that? Oh, Steve Turtle.
Notification.
Oh. Yeah, Steve Turtle does a lot of work camping too, so.
Yeah, he does. He's a good video YouTube guy to watch.
Support the YouTubers. If you like watching them, you got to support them. Just by you guys watching, monetized channels, it gives a little bit of income to people. It don't give you much, believe me. It's unless you've got, if you got 50,000 subscribers and you're doing 4 or 5 videos a day, then a week. A day you'd be doing great. There are people that do that, but if you're doing 4 videos a week, you could make being retired, we probably make enough money where we can live pretty good on that. But it takes so long. we've been at this 3 years now.
What?
The YouTube channel.
Yeah.
At least 3 years.
Yeah.
I think this is. I think we're
in our third year.
We're in our third year. We started in March or April.
The channel says we're older than that because he had.
Yeah.
We just used his channel and changed the name. So.
Yeah, I put a channel on, but I didn't have any videos forever.
Hey, Mega Van Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Steve Moran, got my certification for traffic control flagger, get my jobs with a temp service, making $20 an hour. They give you a pay stub at the end of the day, put money on a debit card each day. That sounds awesome, Steve.
What's he doing?
He's a traffic control flagger.
Oh, okay.
And Scarlett says, I like old classic cars. That's what we were building. My husband recently passed away. We like restoring old cars and building hot rods. Yeah, Bill likes watching those shows too.
I do.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband.
I've done quite a few cars too. We actually, Darla and I met at a Pontiac dealer. We both started out doing dealership work. I worked at Ford in the beginning.
I was a cashier.
She was a cashier, and I started out as a lot boy when I was like 17. And then I got into mechanics, and then pretty soon I got into management and service advisor. And then actually in 1983, I think it was, I was a service manager of 4 lines at GM. But I was doing my electronics company, and then once we got the electronics company going, then that was it. I was out. We were self-employed from then on. We were self-employed for about 30 years.
Jason and Amanda are in South Dakota.
Oh, yeah?
And it's busy there, they said. It's busy here too.
Oh, yeah.
I was saying earlier, I think COVID last year really put people in a mood to just get out and do, and they're here a lot. So, yeah, we've been busy too. And Rock and Roll Nomad gave a thumbs up, thank you. Rhonda will, as soon as she can figure out how to do that without cutting us off. Rock and Roll Nomad also says he's disabled, so jobs might be tough. Yeah, but you know, like you can work there are jobs out there where you could sit in a kiosk and, you know, check people in a park or whatever for a spot. There are forestry jobs like that you can do. You just have to be on the right sites to find them.
And if you learn the campground
yeah, the work
reservation thing,
right?
You don't have to, as long as you can type and answer a phone, you can do that. That's what a lot of people here are doing. They work in the little RV. What would you call that? Office, RV office, where you come in, you check in, and you can just answer phones and do stuff. I mean, you know.
And if you want to do it, there's things to do.
And the thing about it is I think that if somebody truly has the desire to do a job, and they have a job that you can do, I don't see why anyone would discriminate.
Well, they're not allowed
against,
to by law, so.
Yeah, but even still, I mean,
physical capabilities.
People can discriminate if they want. It's just, you know, it's just whether they get sued for it. But the thing about it is that if you can do something and you show the desire that you want to do it, and that's what they want to see. They want people that don't show up for work 5 minutes late. If you show up, we show up every day 10 minutes early, and we go right in. I get my apron on. I look really good in a white apron. Anyway, we go in and I start stocking all the fridge and the freezer and getting everything ready for the night service. And Darla goes in and starts getting huckleberry shake all over. And you know, we just get into the flow right away and, you know, try to do the job.
Stephen answered, yeah, the one 3 years ago. It was in Wisconsin. It was a KOA.
Yeah.
And actually, 2 Eggs, 1 Basket RV that's on here right now, they worked with us. And my biggest regret about leaving that job was they had just worked a shift and we quit and they had to work our shift, and I still feel bad about that.
The thing was we wanted to go see our daughter was getting married, and I was supposed to give her away and all this, and we had to do 1,000 miles one way and 1,000 miles back, and they were going to give us 3 days. So I mean, we would have drove. We would have only had a few hours there, and then we had to turn around and drive back. And I just thought that was not. And
when they hired us, they knew that we were going to do that. So.
And they just we just kept.
We don't talk
kept
about
getting busier and busier and what?
Jason and Amanda said we don't talk about Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was a job. It was. We did what we did. We worked there the year before, part of the year. We left Adventureland, which just happened the other day, and a young boy got killed there, and two other ones. They had their water ride flipped upside down, and the one kid drowned, and it's like a 40-year-old ride. The place is That's one place I don't have a problem with smacking on, because I'll tell you what, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Mega Van Mike says, "Hey, I'm from Wisconsin."
Well, it's not Wisconsin. It was just
It was that place.
that wasn't in
It wasn't
Wisconsin.
even
That
the
was
place.
Iowa.
No, I'm talking about Wisconsin. It was one person, just one person.
Where? In Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
Yeah, well,
Nothing to do with you, Mike. We've
Yeah.
met you. We like you. You're nice, even though you're from Wisconsin.
yeah, and you're a dangerous kid, man. This
Yeah,
guy,
you are
This guy likes to go in
dangerous.
the middle of riots and yell out, Trump!
Mega Van Mike has a YouTube channel also, guys. Check him out.
Yeah, but he changed it.
It's Mega Van Mike.
Minivan. Okay, well,
Yeah.
it was minivan
Or
before.
Mega Van
Okay,
Mike,
now
but
it's
he got a
Minivan.
bigger van, so.
He's all grown up now.
But he just went to this gathering in his town and was just taping, what was going on, a demonstration, and it just kind of went off the rails.
It ended
You should
up-
go check it out.
He ended up being the
He
entertainment.
was.
That's like when you go to a biker function, you don't drink too much because you don't want to become the entertainment. It can be very painful. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scarlett, a lot of the state parks do have kiosks, and people can just sit inside, give information, collect fees, don't have to go anywhere. I got caught up in it a bit.
yeah, we watched it. It was painful to watch.
Yeah, it scared me. I was scared for him. I would have cared less if I hadn't met him, but I met him, and we both like him, and so we were a little
when
worried.
I see you in person, I'll teach you a secret that'll help you about that. So, anyway, this day and age, you gotta,
Oh, how come you're going back to RV Davy instead of Rock and Roll Nomad?
yeah, I like that name, Rock and Roll Nomad.
Just curious. Thank you, teacher Cindy. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys.
Oh, we got 24 watching and 24 thumbs up. That's pretty good.
The situation was busy in Wisconsin,
Yeah, it was.
Jason and Amanda,
And it was hot.
and it was hot.
The thing was, the year
So
before,
hot.
they said that if we came back, when we came there was going to be air conditioning, and we didn't get it till right before we left. And we ended up with 2 pizza machines, huh?
Yep.
And so instead of being 550 degrees, it was 1100 degrees. So I mean, the ice cream was melting. I called it the what was it, the job of broken tools or something. Like, remember, what was that the thing with all the broken toys? It was
where all the broken toys go to die, or I don't know.
if it was supposed to have 4 legs, one was a wooden block.
Everything in there was kind of janky.
So anyway. But I mean, that's the thing. You can only be as good as the tools that they give you to work with.
Teacher
And
Cindy, I remember that, no AC and people were getting heat stroke. Yeah, your parents.
I'll tell you what, sometimes I get that
The land
hot
of
here
broken
too.
toys.
Yeah,
she
the land of-
remembers.
Yeah, it gets in this kitchen here because I'm standing right in front of the grill, and I mean, it's the walkway.
No vent fan for the
is-
pizza ovens.
It's just barely enough for people to just kind of, you get very intimate when people decide they need to go past you.
'Cause
So it's a really, really tight place.
Yeah, it is.
And so I'm always shoved up against that grill,
grill.
and it's hot in there, man. And that fan helps a lot, but it's still
Misfit
screaming hot.
Island, right, Scarlett? Yeah, and those pizza ovens did not have a vent fan, so all that heat that was generated from them just stayed in the kitchen.
Yeah,
We were popping fuses all the time. Remember that?
they finally did. They finally got a really good air conditioning unit in there, and it worked really good. And then we left. So, but I don't know. I mean, I got no bad
Cindy
feelings for
says,
it.
I know what it's like living without AC. Our daughter's AC broke today,
Yeah.
and it's like the hottest week in her area.
How's it
so
feel
far
to
this
live in
year.
the 70s? That's
Yeah,
what it
we
was
grew
like
up
in the
with no
70s.
AC.
Your rich neighbors had air conditioning.
Yeah.
That's why I used to
didn't know
sleep.
anybody that had AC.
I used to sleep in the patio all summer long.
I was telling Cindy we had these big blocks of ice because we had ice houses still then,
Yeah.
and not that everybody used them, but we would buy these blocks of ice and put it in a dish pan, and then take a big fan and push the air out onto us, and it was like a,
Swamp cooler.
Yeah, swamp cooler. It was
Yeah, a lot of people
very
did that.
basic.
They had those for cars
Spoiled.
too. We used to
Yeah,
fill
they
the
did.
thing with ice
Hang it on
and
the
water.
window?
No, well they had them where they sat in the middle. And you filled them with
Really?
ice and water, and yeah, we had
He's
one
older
in the
than
El
I am.
Camino. You're the oldest.
I don't remember
That should be
that
obvious,
stuff.
huh?
Yeah.
Look how young I look.
Hi, Ron Burnett. The land of misfit toys, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, that
anyway,
was then, and this is now.
yeah, it's to just get back to the work camping thing for just a second. If you guys haven't watched our V2 channel, our video, you should watch it because that's very informative. I actually had a guy call me the other
It's
day and
He
say,
said our V2,
yeah,
not our V2.
yeah, just
It's our second video.
if you look at all our
we ever did.
videos, they're V whatever number they are because of when we did, in the number.
Yeah.
But anyway, V2, which was actually the second video we did.
Yes, Scarlett, we are doing Quartzsite and the tent again.
But-
And
If you have a place where you want to go and spend the summer or something, you need to line up a campground and ask for a monthly rate, and then look at the help wanted stuff in that area, because like here, there's so many jobs. You could probably have 2 jobs if you could take it. You could make a ton of money here, because everybody's paying anywhere from $10 to $20. And if you can get a campground, a nice campground, and there's places I know people are renting by their houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Around here. So
Yes.
maybe you spend $400 or $500 a month and have you a nice place, and you just gotta. Everything is research and conversation.
Word of mouth. Yeah, you gotta have. That's one reason why going to Quartzsite is good, because you can meet up with people and they can tell you about their experiences working at this place or that place. One place we've tried really hard to work at is Dollywood, but they have nowhere to camp, and we've got hired on with them 3 times and had nowhere to stay, so we couldn't take the job with them. One day we'll get there.
They were actually talking
About building a campground.
and
campers.
they wanted me to kind of help them design the thing and everything, and I said sure. I go, that would be great. And she told me, she goes, maybe we could put like 2 spaces in to start so you have a place to stay. I said,
haven't
you
done
do
that.
that, let me know. But I haven't. That was the last time we heard about it. So
Stephen O'Laughlin, they said, why don't you just leave now? As I recall, you said good idea up in Wisconsin. What they said was leave in the morning, and we were walking out, and I'm the one that said, it's the busiest night of their week, let's leave now.
yeah,
I was just,
and it was raining.
sorry Jason and Amanda.
It was raining, and
It was bad.
And we actually had one of our subscribers had come there to stay, and they were coming in as we were pulling out. The guys are like, where are you going? I go, so we got to go, man. We just got that, that's why they call it wheel estate. We got, levelers up, wheels down, and you go. they're when you live this lifestyle, you realize that there's more important things in life than just, constantly.
As you get older too, I think.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time in a old Ford green van, driving LA and all over. When we had our electronics company, I was a junk van. I bought defective goods and we reconditioned them and sold them to swap meters and discount stores and stuff. But there was a lot of work there because I was buying. I left every day with a pocket full of money, and I hopefully came home with a van load of stuff. Mm-hmm. So, and
Scarlett says, I remember you're talking about the 70s. We all had attic fans here in Arkansas. It's the only thing that kept us cool, and the creek.
Yeah.
And the thing about Arkansas is it's so humid that it's hard to use a swamp cooler type cooling system because the air is already so full of moisture.
Yeah, you got to have air.
Yeah.
You got to have
it. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend, and my favorite YouTube couple. We love Makio too.
Yeah. She's coming to Quartzsite for sure
For
this
sure.
year. For sure.
I hope so.
Even if she has to pitch a tent.
I'm glad I'm
Amakia.
close to get to Quartzsite. Yep, 3 hours away. Harvey Davy.
Yeah.
Rocking and rolling nomad.
Okay, you got to quit changing your name or I will know who you are.
Anyways, guys, I think we've been on here about an hour and 20.
Yeah. Yeah, people look at that and they go, yeah, I'm not going to watch them for that long.
I remember in the 70s we put our bed sheets in the freezer, covered with them at night in bed.
We had a screened-in patio, and we had a rollaway bed, and I put it out in the patio, and then I would take like an old bedspread or something, and I tie it to the roof and have it hanging, and I had a black and white 13-inch TV. I put it at the foot of the bed, and then my dogs and I had two like cage dogs, Bostons. They would sleep with me out there all summer long. I'd be out there. One year I put it against the side of the patio and it rained and everything got wet. So I learned you got to put it in the middle of the patio so you don't get soaked.
You guys, was thinking of going to Quartzsite, but have some other things to take care of in Arkansas and Florida. Ah, that's Jason and Amanda. Why didn't you send me an appointment? Hey, why didn't you send me an appointment? For what, Pooh? And hello, when will you both get into Quartzsite? We're usually there the first week in January.
Yeah, we actually go to, her brother lives in Havasu, Lake Havasu. So we go there and block his view for about a week. We get there usually right around Christmas or right after Christmas. And this year it'll probably be a couple of days because our youngest daughter is coming to Arkansas, so we'll probably want to be in Arkansas for Christmas, I would think, huh?
Yeah.
And then as soon as Christmas Day's over and everything, we're going to head to Quartzsite, and then we'll be there for a month. We usually leave there right at the first part of February, and then we go back to her brother's. This time we'll probably go and spend a week or two this time again. So.
Terry. He was talking about when he was a kid growing up. I didn't even know him then when you were sleeping outside.
Yeah. She wished she did. I mean, I was really cute when I was 12.
Neighbors must have thought you were in the doghouse, he says. Hey, Pooh, check your bell. Make sure the bell is ticked because I know YouTube unsubscribes me and unclicks the bell on a lot of the people I subscribe to. And it's like, how come I haven't seen anything from them? And I go in and it's unchecked. So check that.
Yeah, you got to check once in a while your subscriptions.
I did put this also on Facebook that we were going live. So, hey, Claudia.
All right. Ah.
Took me all this time to get a message to you. We've both been watching. Love and miss you both. We love and miss you both, too.
Yeah, they go to Quartzsite with us every year. Yes. This year they're going to stay at the campground.
That's right.
They stayed for like a week or so
Isn't
last
that
year.
right, Ronnie?
But Ronnie he came over and told me, he goes, next year we're going to come and stay here the whole time. So that'd be great. Because we have a lot of fun.
Pooh was having a nap. No wonder you didn't get a notification.
He was hearing dings. He just wasn't, he wasn't awake enough to answer them.
YouTube's also stealing people's numbers of the amount of subscribers they actually have. I've seen that with a lot of YouTube people. I agree. Our numbers have been real funky. Real funky. I don't know what's going on.
We'll go way up real fast, and then all of a sudden it's like one day we'll lose one, the next day we'll lose 2 or 3, and the next day we'll lose a couple more.
Like,
and then boom, it goes back up again.
Whatever.
So we just look at each other and we just go whatever.
It's like they're I don't know, manipulating the analytics or something. I don't know.
We've learned to not let anything that YouTube does get to us.
Can't take it too serious.
We don't do it for money. We try to do it. I'll tell you why I do it is because I like what we do. We enjoy our lifestyle, and if we can help people get beyond that, because I see all the time these people go, yeah, well, we're giving up the full-time RV lifestyle. 3 weeks of doing this is just too much. Well, I mean, 3 weeks is not enough time to know anything. You know, I mean, you can move into a house and hate it for 3 weeks and then love it for the rest of your life. You just never know. You got to give things a chance. And I mean, and if you're not doing something, you know, right, you're not going to be happy. But once you get the hang of it, I mean, it's great. We're pretty good at it
The
anymore.
thing I like the best about this is no mortgage.
Yeah, no mortgage, and we get to see beautiful country, and we get to meet a lot of great people. Sometimes it's another thing, you know. It's just like in the motorcycle world. I mean, I had guys bringing all these guys over to my shop and stuff, and I would just tell them, I go, you know, I don't want you to bring everybody you meet over here, because not everybody has the same intentions, you know. I mean, I'd like to kind of pick my own customers, because you just never know, you know. Not everybody that rides a motorcycle is a great guy. I'm not saying everybody that rides them is bad, but I mean, I've met some of the best people in my life have been on motorcycles, and I'll tell you what, some of the best people in the RV world have some of the worst looking RVs. I mean, it doesn't matter. What matters is the person and their heart, how they are, and that's how we try to work it. We don't try to choose people by their things. That's not where it's at. That's what makes this lifestyle nice. I can be right here in my old motorhome and there was a guy over here who had a really nice pretty new, like 07 country coach and stuff. Yeah, I'm happy for him. I think that's great, man, and we got along great. I mean, I was helping him fix his Audi, so
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Nice to see you too, Charlie. We appreciate you guys every single time you pop on here or watch a video. You know, that's what YouTube's about, is making friends through the internet, and we do appreciate you.
Let me know if you think
watching our content.
Let me know if you think I should get that new camera for
Yeah,
my
let
birthday.
him know.
For my
if you
birthday.
think you should, send him a birthday present. 'Cause
It's one of those little pocket. What is it? DJI or something?
DJI.
A DJI, and it's really
It's
small.
on a gimbal.
It's on a gimbal. People can sometimes complain about, and it's got external mic. It's the nice one. It's like $500. It's a lot of money, but
Claudia, he's right there,
yeah.
sleeping in his bed. He tried to play ball with us earlier, but
we're just
Rock and Roll
debating over
Nomad
it.
just bought a GoPro 8. You should check
Oh, yeah?
that. I like the idea of the gimbal. I love how it doesn't get you car sick when I'm trying to film and stuff.
Well, it does lives, it does slow motion, it does where you can set it and it scans the sky, you know, like Nomadic Fanatic does all the time. It's got a little tripod with it. It's got a lapel mic with a mouse, you know, or a dead cat. It's got a lot of features, and we do everything. I have a real nice Canon camera, but it's big and it's bulky and it's hard to, you can't use it like, you know, we just use my phone, and we got a little pistol grip holder. That's what we're using
the thing
right
of it,
now.
though. He bought this really nice camera and he never uses it, and now he wants another really nice camera.
But this one is something that will replace my phone.
But hey, Jackie B 1965 says yes, get the DJI.
All right. Okay, that's all I needed. I'm glad you agree. Now you got to do is make her agree. She lets me get whatever I want.
And Mega Van Mike says he just uses his phone and his GoPro.
Yeah, well, we've gotten to the point where all we do is use the phone, but the problem is with the phone is I wear it on my side, and if we see something, by the time
because you've got a key in the code. If I'm using his phone and he's driving or whatever, I got a key in his code, and then I got to turn on the camera, and then I got to orient it, and then I've got to push the video. And
yeah, this thing has 2 seconds and it's working.
All that.
2 seconds it's on, and you're filming.
Everybody's leaving, so we're gonna say goodnight, guys. Everyone's saying goodnight. We do appreciate you. We said that, and we really do.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
Have a good evening, guys, and a great weekend. Thumbs up.
We got 26 watching and 28 thumbs. Okay, I gotta shut this off somehow.
Bye.
Where do I shut it off?